got bullied by some subscribers to do a very large field of sugarcane, which I think took, it's just ridiculous. It took many a stream, but yes.
Yeah, so it's funny, I like to do gardening because it's so easy, but mainly I do grass, always grass. And I hate carrots and such to harvest. And that's why my upcoming gardens will have carrots growing easily.
I think I have to mirror the grasswork stuff because I love doing bathing and that kind of thing. But I don't mind doing oat crops. I like doing an oat crop because there's the various different mods that allow you to transfer those oats and make them into seed, which you can use again for various different crops. It gives you a better production value for doing the oats. As far as crops I don't like, I know it's technically not a crop, and I think I said it last year, weeds. They grow, they're horrible. You can't really harvest them, but they drive me insane. They really do.
You know you can turn them off.
For me, it's any type of grain crop. Anything that gets me behind the wheel of combine harvester, I am in absolute heaven. And so, yeah, and wheat, barley, canola, any of those. From crops I hate, vegetables. Anybody who saw my stream on Sunday, where I just got sabotaged and spent 4.5 hours trying to do a field of carrots, and still failed. So yeah, no huge fan of vegetables. Not good harvester in the game. Really.
Yeah, I'll mirror that. So about just taking my least favorite first is all the root crops, all the premium crops from FS22, anything like that. That's small working with and slow and boring and no capacity. Get it out of it. And then oats and grass, like them equally. Probably if you watch my videos, be like, oh, oat and grass again, cool, awesome. But I absolutely love it.
Anybody?
It's boring, but I love it. Another question. Yos, who you got for us?
Nobody wants?
I'll give it a go.
He looks like he's waiting to give someone like her.
All right. What's the first farm sim that you started on?
Farm Sim 15 for me. I got it for free on Xbox Game Pass. I didn't stay on Xbox for very long, but that was my first.
Yeah, FS15. I got it on a deal on Amazon Prime and just went and played and enjoyed it.
FS15 came out on console. My daughter asked for it and I laughed. CLEG, and then I bought it and this is where we're at now. So I can't thank her enough for that. That was awesome.
FS17.
FS13 for me. I got it when, allegedly, when I was a kid. Allegedly. I'm actually Farm Sim 11 on an Apple Mac, so does that count? Probably not. Yeah, I started on FS11 way back when. I'll just show my age now.
I feel like such a noob. Farm Sim 19 came out on PlayStation Plus, and I followed the tutorial, baled the straw, spent 3 hours trying to load a bale trailer, pressed the wrong button, nearly all ejected anywhere, and I put that game down for about 5 weeks.
Nothing's changed.
Now we are standing here in front of you amazing people, and obviously I'll pick the game back up.
Where? Back? All right. We need to get Wilson over. I don't know why he's been holding this flashlight.
Out of all the maps that's been through all the
FS games, which one would you like to see remastered and put into this year?
Okay, I want my vintage jokes back.
Yes.
We run community-based gaming over on my channel. We're very heavily evolved around the community, and a 1 to 4 times map bag with not massive fields and UK based would be lovely. So for me, that ticks all our boxes. So that would be my choice.
I grew up on a farm with 1990s Ford tractors. So any of the TW series, 15, 25, 35, 7610, 7810, there was loads and loads of variants of them, but they were all a little bit hashed together. I would love to see a beautifully polished version of that suite of tractors. It would be amazing.
The question was map. And I would like to drive those tractors on. I haven't finished. Jeez, people. Oakfield Farm from FS19. Absolutely loved that map. Absolutely brilliant. Good work, you caught it. It's good. As soon as you started talking, I was like, okay, I wonder where this is going. But for me, I think it's like I would want to say like No Man's Land or something like that, because No Man's Land was such a big deal for me, and I probably spent more hours on that map than anything else. But I think I'm actually going to say Griffin, Indiana, because it, for me, like, I mean, I didn't grow up on a farm or anything like that, but like being around farms, if I was around them when I was growing up, like that kind of small, kind of idyllic, like little American town and stuff like that, like kind of really brings me back to like driving through the Midwest and stuff as a kid and seeing like farms. And so that map, I love playing on it, and I would love to see that one back and maybe do a series of it, because that map is just absolutely fantastic.
And I'd like the old stream farm back, because I am still not done with it. I started it 2 times, not enough time, and I want to play for a while on it.
I was going to say one, but I think it's the one he's going to say. Colbert Park Farm. Because it was that one map that I said a while ago, I feel I missed the boat on. It was the one map I didn't do a Let's Play on. It's the one I always regret not doing a Let's Play on. So I'd love to see, I know it's not going to happen, but Colbert Park Farm is a phenomenal map, liked it. But as far as ones that I played on recently, 6 Ashes, I think I said it last year, 6 Ashes by GB Modding, I adored that map. I can't explain why, but I just loved it.
I'm going to second both of those maps. Colbert Park Farm is the map I did the first realism experiment on, and it holds a special place. I've got to walk around that farm. It is amazing, and I would love to see that back. Not going to happen, and I know intellectually that's not going to happen. 6 Ashes, that could happen, and I would love GB to bring that back. And having played so many episodes on it, I found a place in the middle of the map where I'd go and build a farm and play it completely differently. So yeah, I would love to see that map again, because that is awesome.
So I've got 2. Number 1 would be Lone Oak, hands down. I want it, but I also know that it's not happening. I've heard from Bullet Bill and Oxy, like, yeah, get over it, it's not happening. But Oakfield as well, but the Farm Sim 17 version of it, just because it's a little bit more nostalgic, because that was one of the first games that I played. So there you go.
So, next question.
Did you get third time?
So back to maps. How many of you have started your own map, and when are they likely to appear?
So yes, I've started my own map.
You have?
I have. I'm doing it with Reaver, wherever he's gone, in the middle, there he is. So I started it, he's been taking it on,
So he's going to finish
the two of us are going to work on it together. It's called Foxborough Farm. It's called Elmham Farm. It's based on my dad's farm, which is Foxborough Farm. And yeah, hopefully it'll get released at some point. But it's slow going. 25.
I started quite a lot of maps, and most of them I didn't have the time to finish them because I spent so much time working on mods, and therefore I'm very slow with maps. And in FS22 I worked on my map Wunzig, a small German map, through the whole time, and it grew bigger and bigger with all the functions and wishes and ideas, and then I said no chance, and now I am doing a simplified version of it, and I hope I can finish it in FS25. It will be called Sommerfeld. A simple, nice map.
Are you making a map?
I have started a match. My dad, as you know if you watch my channel, my dad went to the US in the 70s. As a kid I grew up on farms in the Midwest in the 70s because that's where he took us for holidays, which was good of him. But in hindsight, that's another reason why I kind of do a lot of American stuff on the channel. But yeah, I have a southern Minnesota map. The DEM is built and it's being laid out at the moment. It dried up for about 12 months, but I want to get back to it. I almost see hitting the 100,000 sub mark as a point in time where maybe I'll switch some of my time to doing the map, but we'll see. No launch date.
Will it have potatoes?
No potatoes. Or launch date.
Right up here.
What's been your favourite thing about Farm Sim 25?
I think maybe a few people say this, GPS. GPS as standard, I think, has been a huge step forward to console. It's not terrible on PC either. It does the job perfectly well. So that for me has been the biggest leap forward we've done. So yeah, GPS for me.
I'm going to say today, and this, and tomorrow, and this weekend, and the fact that we started last year, nobody knew how it was going to go, and we've got our own event this year. We're going to do it again next year. It's going to be bigger next year. This is for me what the whole game is all about. Not just the playing of the game, but the kind of this. This is brilliant. Yeah.
I'm going to choose a feature in the game. No, I'm just kidding. I do share that sentiment, but I was giving him crap. Anyways, and I still will. But we all get along up here. We have a good time doing stuff like this. I think for me, I really like the business management aspect of the game. That was one of the things that really drew me into it, in addition to having a fascination with farming itself. So I think for me, the biggest new feature is the new AI workers. So they can do the work. I mean, I'd hire an Uber to go from here to that end of the room if I could. So if I can hire an AI worker to do the field, that's great. So yeah, that's AI workers for me.
Yeah, I also really like the better AI helpers. But what opens up my heart are the baby animals. They are so cute and they jump around, and I can't get enough of them.
I think for me, I've been talking to a lot of people today about various different aspects. Everyone's come up to me and said, how are you liking FS25? And I've said all different sorts of things. I'll be honest, it's the total ambience of the whole thing. The sound effects and what Giants have done, and you won't notice, I only noticed today, when I went over to play on one of the consoles, and I grabbed the controller, and there was no sound. And my brain suddenly went, this doesn't make sense, I can't, and my head couldn't get around it, there was no sound. When you play on FS25, you go home and you put it on, and you listen to the sound effects. When you go from road to gravel, when you're driving across, whatever you're driving across, the sounds, the tractors, the vehicles, the 9S, you only notice when the sounds are taken away, and then your brain says, this doesn't feel right. So the immersion that all brings, and you only notice when it's not there. So when you go home, put it on, play it, and pay real close attention to all those little things, because combined, I think it just makes it. It really does.
For me, it's not one particular feature in FS25. It's I had a wish list going into FS25. I had about 10 items that I thought, if I got 4 of these, I'd be happy. And I got 8 or 9 of them. And it was the animal husbandries and new crops that you could actually play early in the game, and the ground deformation and the GPS and the hired worker, and all of this sort of came together to make this massive leap forward. And to me, FS25 does feel like a massive leap forward from 22. And I get people coming in streams and going, oh, it's the same thing that happens every time. You know, it's FS22 with shaders. And it really isn't. It is just such a big leap forward. So yeah, it's just the sort of general big improvement in the game is the thing that I really love about it.
And I'm going to mirror that as well. It's the things that you can't touch. And Farm Sim 25, at least to me, and I think you guys as well, it feels like a completely different game than Farm Sim 22 was. FS22 was awesome. We all loved it. Most of us, I guess, anyway, hopefully. And FS25, it's like a completely different game. It's totally unique. It's in its own little bubble, but somehow you still know exactly how to play. You know how everything works. So it's the little things that air to the game, the way it sounds, the way it looks, everything about it. Not just one feature here, but it's just how different and new, but still familiar it is.
Out of all of the Farm Sim games, what's been the funniest bug or moment you've ever had?
I don't know if any of the ones I remember were funny. I know in Farming Simulator 25, my header gets stuck all the time. The combine starts to rear up with the cock with the header stuck into the ground. I don't really know. That's a really good question. Maybe when mods don't work exactly the way they're supposed to, or when you've got a mod where you increase the horsepower, or maybe one of like 82 Studio Struts or something, when you accidentally just hit the wrong little bump in the road and it goes, and then the screen goes black, and it goes, and then it's gone. And then you go a million miles an hour and the game crashes. So that's, at least for me, that happens a lot.
Favourite one for me was, I went back and I played all the previous Farm Sims just before FS22 came out. And I'm playing FS08 and I'm going, how far can I get across the bridge? And you can drive off it. And you fall into the abyss endlessly. And it was in the days when there just wasn't an edge to the map. And so, just drive off the edge. And it was brilliant.
I think for me, we were talking about this, I think it was earlier or yesterday, and we were saying about mods and prepping for mod reviews and map tours. And you do all the prep, and you get everything ready. I think I'll renew FSG. You get everything ready, all prepped, you test everything, you say, well, I'm ready to hit record. You hit record, and that's when everything goes wrong. Every single time. And it was the straw harvest add-on, and I was using the baler with that triple bale thing on the back of it. Started recording, I've done all my prep, all my testing, works fine. And this thing just catapulted off into the stratosphere, bales everywhere. And someone said to me, why don't you leave your bloopers in? I was swearing a lot. So I could not leave that in, but it does it every single time. And every single time you go to show a mod, it goes wrong, without failure.
For me it was in FS19 and I played on Estancia La Pacho, and I wanted to take a shortcut and I took the train, the railway, with my tractor. And there is an area where it has a huge bridge, and it's very high above everything. And then I was driving, and suddenly I heard the train coming behind me, and I was just on this bridge, and I couldn't go to the side. And yeah, then the train catched me, and it threw me all over the map. It was hilarious. It made it to the video because it was so funny.
This is a tough one. I feel like half my content is me messing up stuff and things going flying across maps and things like that. But I think my favorite one was getting ready to go to FarmCon. I flew out to visit DJ, and we were hanging out just doing pre-recording for a week before we went to FarmCon to make sure we had content to upload and stuff like that while we were traveling. And I was just doing some off-camera work in the evening, and I was doing stuff on my No Man's Land series, and I tried to transport using Easy Dev Tools my tractor across the map. And it glitched out, and it launched into space, and it jumped up to like 60,000 miles per hour and I thought, so I hit record, and then DJ's in the background, and we're both just giggling, dying laughing, and then it gets worse, because all of a sudden it catapults, and now it's going like 300 some odd thousand miles per hour, and we lost it. And you can find all of this on my channel. It's probably my favorite. Yeah, probably is. I mean, any one of my shorts is just a bunch of mistakes that I made, so. But I think that's one of my favorites just because all the timing of it, it wasn't maybe the funniest thing that's happened, because we couldn't see the tractor anymore. I mean, it was on its way to Mars at that point. But just seeing the speedometer keep jumping up, we were just dying laughing. And so I think just because DJ was there and we were both having fun and laughing, I think that's my favorite one.
There's a few. The one that sticks in my mind is practicing for Logging League with RT Gaming, and the train knocking a load of logs sideways as it came past, and it's sitting right next to the train, and we were like, oh phew, we just got away with that. And then he hit the straps, and it attached to the train, and basically bungee jumped the truck right across the map about 10 times. It was brilliant. Same as you two, just like floods of tears of laughter. It was brilliant.
FS22 brought later on. When I, in my infancy, was just trying out multiplayer. And a friend of mine came onto the map, and we still had crop destruction on the server. And they lagged and disappeared across 3 fields. And for the next 6 months in the game, I was looking at these tire tracks going across these fields. At the time, it literally looked like somebody had gone back to the future. So, and they never came back on the community server, and there has never been crop destruction on the server since then. So.